It's gonna be a good day, y'all. Chicken, ribs, fajitas. Oh my. It's an absolutely beautiful day, and I'm firing up Betsy. Why? Why not? So one of my favorite barbecue joints around is called Hays County Barbecue in San Marcos, Texas. This is their sauce. They finally got it into HEBs, so I'm gonna give this a shot. I got a Texas Heat and a Texas Sweet. Both of these sauces are really, really good. I've tried them before in the restaurants. Love them. I'm gonna use one on one rack of ribs, one on the other rack of ribs. That's what I'm gonna do with these and the ribs. So I have a cook-off in a few weeks, and three of the meats that I have to cook are fajitas, ribs, and chicken. So it's kind of why I'm firing up the pit today. I'm going to try some things out. I'm going to marinate these fajitas in a marinade. Then I'll show you what that looks like once I get to this. Try to get this meat tenderized before throwing it on the pit. The ribs, I'm going to try something a little different as well. I'm going to hit them with two different rubs. I want to try a certain or a different flavor profile. Nothing major, nothing too different from what I do. Just trying to tweak things a little bit. And the chicken, I actually took a whole chicken, two of them, and just split them down to half. Split them in half. We have to turn in whole halves of chicken around here in competitions. So I'm just doing another practice run with the chicken. I did start this process last night. I created a brine that consisted of sugar, kosher salt, onion powder, garlic powder, and Old Bay seasoning. So these have been sitting since about 1 in the morning. We'll throw those on. I'm gonna hit them with a sweet rub, and we'll see how they come out. So let me get this started. I'm actually going to start on the fajitas first. I'll get the marinade going, and very, very simple. And I'll show you what that looks like in just a second. Alright, so I got the fajitas here, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to trim them up some, trim off some of this fat, um, you know, that's on both sides. That's what it looks like before I trim it. So you have a lot of this skin here, all this that we want to get off. So I'm going to trim that off, and then I'm going to place it in a plastic bag. I'm going to add some beer and some lime juice, and then a little bit of this. This is the fajita rub I'm going to use today. This Southwest fajita style rub. It's actually pretty good. Once I get this trimmed up, I'll put it in the bag. We're going to squeeze all these limes. I got 4 limes. And then we're going to hit it with some beer. Rub, throw it in the fridge, let it sit. So I got the fajitas trimmed up, and just going to squeeze the lime juice in there. And again, I'm just going with 4 limes. I may go a little more. Let's just kind of depend on how much juice I get out of these 4. All right, I think the 4 limes is going to be perfect. So let's fajitas with the lime juice in it. It's going to take some beer. Well, make sure it's good first. Oh yeah, that's good. Yum. Then I'm going to take some of that fajita seasoning. Just do that there. Close it up. Mix that up real good. Now I'm going to put this in the fridge and I'm going to let it sit for, I don't know, a few hours. I'm probably going to let it go for about 4 hours. They shouldn't take too long to cook once we get them on the pit. So by the time we wrap the ribs, these things should be ready to go. That's it. Get these in the fridge. I'm going to get the ribs ready. Got the fajitas in the fridge. Started on the ribs. I trimmed them up, removed the membrane, trimmed off some of the fat, and just kind of rub them. I decided to just use mustard today. I rarely use mustard as the binder. I have before, but I realized that I had a bunch of mustard in the fridge that it's like every time I went to the store I seemed to pick some up for some reason. So I'm just going to use some of it. Also got these pieces over here from the ribs that I trimmed up. Try to make them, can't see too well. Try to make them nice and neat. And these are just the end pieces that I'm going to cook. The dog will like them, so get a little bit of mustard on those. Alright, put that aside. I have this coarse ground pepper and sea salt mixture that I'm going to use. And that's going to be my first coat. And I always use a shaker. I hate applying the rub with just the hand. I like a shaker. I'm able to get a much more even distribution of rub, and that's important. When the rib looks good, you eat with your eyes first, in my opinion. Right? When something looks really good, you just can't wait to sink your teeth into it. So I like to make sure that my ribs not only taste good, but look good. Now this is what I'm doing different in that I don't ever use the salt and pepper mixture like this. Let's move that over. But I'm gonna give it a shot. Wanted to add a little bit of heat from that pepper, and we'll see what happens. Got that on. Now I'm gonna use that Three Little Pigs rub again. Last time I used it, it was really good. It gives a great color, great taste. So that's what I'm gonna run with. This is the back side. We're going to flip them over. Do the top side. Put some mustard. Apply that salt and pepper. That's the first layer. that. Hit it with the 3 little pigs. That's what we're working with. Yum. We're gonna let these sit and let's go fire at the pit. All right, so I got the pit firing up and got the chicken out of the brine. I just rinsed it under some water, patted it dry, and that's it. This is what they look like. I got two. See that? Two chickens here that I cut in half. Trimmed off some of the excess fat. And these flipped over. I'm going to use the 3 Little Pigs rub on the chicken as well. That brine is pretty salty. Here in Texas, at competitions, you know, salty chickens just seems to be what gets a lot. So I'm trying to find a balance here between the salt, a little saltiness with a little sweetness. So that's why I'm doing this trial run. We'll see how it plays out. So I'm just going to get these rubbed down on both sides all the way around. And got everything else ready to go. We'll be putting this on the pit in just a bit. All right, we have it on. Got the ribs on. Got the chicken on. I'm using some post oak for the wood. Got a little pan in here for some water. And we're going to shut this shutter up and let it run. All right, let's take a look at this. I'm sitting at about, what's that, 225? This bit's sitting at about 240. I need to add some wood. So that's what we're going to do. It's been about 2.5 hours. We're going to take a look. It's the water pan. It was full. It's halfway full now. It's ribs, chicken. We're going to hit this with some apple juice. Plain old apple juice. Just flip these little pieces over. Hit the ribs. That should be good. Yum. Look at this. Look at that. Nice color so far, 2.5 hours in. Getting a little bit of pullback on the ribs. Just a little bit. You know, I haven't decided yet if I'm going to wrap these or not. I may just run with them unwrapped. We'll see. Chicken. Yum. So close this bad boy up, drop some more wood in there. Actually, let's take a look at this. Yeah, that's the wood. I'm gonna go ahead and add in another piece there. So close this bad boy up, and we'll pick back up. I don't know, man, another hour or so. I'm coming out every half hour to spray with apple juice. So we'll see. That's what it looks like so far. All right, the ribs are done. We have both ribs here. This one is on the right side is the Texas Heat. The left one is a Texas Sweet. So you can tell we got a slightly different color. At least I can. The one on the left, the Sweet, is a little darker than the Heat. That's what they look like. Great color. Look at that. Damn, that's a good color. Now we got to cut them up and taste them. Yum. Let's get to cutting. Let's take this. We'll turn it over to the back side. Expose the bones. Makes it easier to see. And well, let's keep it this way and move this over. Let's see how well they cut. That's a nice cut. Oh yeah. They cut very well. Let's do this. Get these turned over. Put those over here. Take this rack. God, look at that color. Some damn good color. Anyway, let's see how these cut. Oh yeah. Save that. Get these flipped over. Now let's do it side by side. Now comes the best part. Here's the Texas Heat. See that? Oh, the lighting isn't all too great, so I apologize for that, but that's what we're working with. Let's give this bad boy a taste. Good bite. All right. Let's go in for a second opinion. Not bad. Now, let's try that Texas sweet. There it is there. See, I don't think the lighting allows you to see the smoke ring. So, I apologize for that. Definitely has a smoke ring. That's what it looks like. Yum. Look at that. Let's give it a taste. It's a big rib. Texas sweet, definitely better. It's really good. Really, really good. Comparing the two, the Texas sweet is definitely the way to go. Now, the Texas heat is really good as well. But for a rib, pork rib, that Texas sweet sets it off. That's the ribs. Let's check out the chicken. All right, let's take a look at the chicken. What it looks like here. See if you can get that in the lighting. This is exactly how it has to be turned in. So let's cut it up and see what it looks like. So here's the leg quarter. Let's see that. Nice color. Not too bad. Here's the breast and the wing. So I want to cut into this white meat and see what that looks like. Um, let's get this wing off first. Got the wing off. Let's see. Put that there. Let's cut this piece off. Then we'll take this. Cut this up. working with. I will say that it's not as moist as I would like for it to be. But it also did take a lot longer to cook than I expected. So let's see taste wise, what we're working with. Hmm. Taste wise, it's pretty good. You definitely get the saltiness from that brine. The glaze that I put on the chicken was some. It was a barbecue sauce that I kind of doctored up and added a little bit something to it, playing around, seeing if I liked the little concoction that I was able to come up with, and I think it works good. Again, it's not. I'd like for it to be a little more moist. It's not completely dry, but I'd like for it to be a little more moist. Mm, good flavor. Now let's try the fajitas. All right, so here's the fajitas. That's what they look like done. Oh, let's cut these bad boys up. The grain is going this way, so we want to make sure we cut against the grain. So let's take this, move it up, bring this down. Let's see. All right, so take that piece, and I hope you can see it, but there's a really nice smoke ring right around here. I hope the lighting does it justice. Let's give it a shot. Not too bad. I think they could be a little tender, a little more tender, but just a little bit. Pull it right apart. See, it pulls apart pretty easy, so it's not that tough. But I'd like for it to go. That's it's already falling apart. So they're tender. Perfect. Definitely taste the lime from the marinade. That rub, it's pretty good. It's not the best fajita rub I've tried, but it's good. Take another piece and just pull it right apart. Look at that. That's pretty good. Well, I'm calling this a wrap. Everything was good. Ribs were good. Chicken turned out really good. So it's time to eat. Besides, somebody's waiting on a plate. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. Like, subscribe. Finished product. Not too damn shabby. Alright, you guys. Thank you guys for watching. And I will see you next time. Take care.